Thank you so much for being with us today, Regina. Can you tell us what was the inspiration behind founding the Walking Gallery?
Oh, what started it? Well, there's this amazing woman named Jen McCabe, and when I had just finished the really big mural I did in 2009, she reached out to me via Twitter, told me she was going to be attending some medical conferences where patients weren't invited. And would I like to paint a painting about patients on her back so she could go to these conferences? And I did that, and it was amazing, but that wasn't what the Walking Gallery, it was just art jackets, right? Well, then in 2011, I was at the Center for Total Health with Kaiser Permanente in Washington, D.C. And I looked at this beautiful room with smart walls and technology, and it was gorgeously lit. And I said, we need to have a gallery show here. And my friend Ted, who worked there, said, no, they're never going to let you put nails in these walls. I said, no, it won't be on nails. It'll be on people's backs. We'll have this amazing moment where all these people are walking in jackets, telling their personal stories, acting as docents of their own lives. And then we'll disperse. We'll spread through the world. It was beautiful. So that's how it started.
How many jackets have you painted so far?
Well, I just finished 238.
Wow.
So in the past 2 years and 3 months, it's been 238 jackets I've personally painted, but we have a few other artists in the gallery, so there's a total of 268 jackets.
How do you decide what gets painted on the jacket?
I read the person's story, and they'll email me a fairly in-depth story of their life. And I'll oftentimes follow up with doing internet research on the individual, as well as sometimes an in-person or phone conversation to get more deeply into what their mission is and what happened. And then I have to wait until I have a vision of what it is I'm supposed to paint. What is the image that correlates all these very different things into one picture? And then I paint that.
How did you get the idea to incorporate healthcare with your artwork?
Oh, so when my husband was sick 4 years ago with kidney cancer, I had been a preschool art teacher, and I had done neighborhood murals, and I worked retail sales in a toy store. So this was my skill set. And then my husband got sick with cancer, and I saw an incredibly dysfunctional healthcare system. So I thought, what can I do with my skill set to try to, as rapidly as possible, affect health policy in the United States? And I used art.
What sort of response have you seen from all of the patients that you've worked with in artwork?
It's been amazing. So patients and people who define themselves before today as providers and techies and maybe gov folks, then starting to tell their patient story, leading with that, that's powerful. So that's what the art has done, is let people lead with their inmost self. And that changes the conversation. And it affects health policy. So a lot of the work I'm doing is affecting pieces of legislation like meaningful use within the high-tech legislation and what it means to have data access.
Can you talk a little bit more about that, about the meaningful use legislation?
Sure. So I painted the first mural, which was 17 feet by 70 feet. It was a really big painting about my husband's healthcare journey and lack of access to the electronic medical record. So what I was trying to do within that was show that we have closed data loops, that we don't have transparency, that we need all of those things. And when I started speaking about it, I had art to support what I was talking about. So I had strong visual image, then strong text or the spoken word. It helped people within the federal government and people who are molding the legislation to understand more deeply the harm that is caused by patients not having rapid access to this information. So a document that originally was designed with very little input from patients rapidly started to have more input.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us, and
Well,
I'll
you.
definitely keep an eye out for all the people walking around with your art on
That
their
would be
backs.
great. Thank you so much.